Okay, so let's have another video discussion about our next topic, and that is electromagnetic induction. So, from the name itself, electromagnetic, combination of electricity and magnetism. So, induction means being induced, or one thing causes the other. Okay, so here we're going to talk about how magnetism can induce electricity. Okay, sa last topic natin, sinabi natin doon na when charges move, okay, like for example, kapag sa isang wire nag-move yung mga charges natin, or in short, nagkaroon ng current or flow ng wire flow ng charge doon sa wire na yon, nagko-cause siya or nagre-create siya ng magnetic field around it. Okay? Kaya nung nakikita natin doon sa right hand rule number 1 at right hand rule number 2 natin, na when charges move sa isang straight wire or sa isang coil of wire, nagre-create siya ng magnetic field around it. Okay, so in short, electricity can induce magnetism. Now, next question is, can magnetism induce electricity in return? If electricity induces magnetism, can magnetism induce electricity? So yan yung pag-uusapan natin today. So what is electromagnetic induction ba? Electromagnetic induction is the process of using magnetic fields to produce voltage and, in a complete circuit, a current. In short, electromagnetic induction is the process of using magnetic fields to cause or to induce electricity. It was discovered by Michael Faraday while working on the works of Hans Christian Ørsted. So, na-discover niya na by moving a wire through a magnetic field, okay, nagkakaroon ng kuryente doon sa wire na yun, or nag-induce siya ng electricity. Okay, so paano ba nangyari ito? So here is the setup for electromagnetic induction. So we have here a loop of wire, parang circuit din siya, and we have a magnet. Okay, so when we move the magnet back and forth, okay, malapit dun sa loop of wire na yon, it causes charges to move back and forth din doon sa wire, okay, causing current. Okay, so or pag-move ng charges. Okay, so anong tawag natin dyan, mamaya pag-usapan natin. Okay, now paano ba na yung pag-move ng magnet back and forth causes charges to move then dito, back and forth then dito sa wire na ito? Okay, so to explain that, okay, pag-usapan natin yung tinatawag na magnetic flux. If you can remember yung lesson natin nung third quarter, okay, napag-usapan natin yung tungkol sa electric flux. Okay, so parang same lang sila ng magnetic flux. Ang difference lang is that instead of electric field, magnetic field ang nagpa-pass through sa isang area dito. Okay, so if you can still remember, electric flux is equal to E, which is electric field, dot product with A, or the area. So dito papalitan mo lang yung E ng B, or magnetic field. So flux is associated with the field that is bound by a certain area. Now, sabi din dyan, we generally define an area vector as one that is perpendicular to the surface of the material. Therefore, you can see in the figure that area vector and the magnetic field vector are parallel. Okay, so maaaring magtaka kayo kasi ang nakikita natin sa illustration is yung magnetic field natin is paganyan, tapos ang area natin ay paganito, which is naka 90 degrees. Ang tinutukoy dito na area vector is perpendicular to the surface of the material. So if this is the material, this is the area, ang kanyang area vector ay perpendicular sa kanya. So paganyan siya, or in short, ganito. Okay, so we see here na this is the area at ang kanyang area vector is this one. Ito yung gagamitin natin in multiplying with B para makuha ang magnetic flux. So sabi dito, therefore you can see in the figure that area vector and magnetic field vector are parallel, meaning yung angle between area vector and magnetic field ay 0. Okay, so this then produces a dot product between two variables that then define flux. Okay, so linawin lang natin yun ha. Parallel sila, yung area vector, ito yon, which is naka 90 degrees surface natin, and dun sa ating magnetic field. So ang angle between them is 0. Okay, so we see here that magnetic flux is equal to the dot product between the magnetic field and the area vector. Okay, so ibig sabihin nito, these two are parallel to each other. Their angle is 0. In case na hindi 0 yung angle between the two, ibig sabihin nun ay hindi nakaparallel yung area vector natin sa magnetic field natin. We use cosine theta instead. So alam natin na kapag naka-0 yung angle ng magnetic field at yung area vector, makukuha natin yung maximum value ng magnetic flux. Okay, so kung hindi siya naka 90, let's say for example nakatagilid siya, cosine 20, gano'n, cosine 20 degrees, mas mababa yung makukuha nating magnetic flux. Okay, now how could we change the flux over a period of time? Okay, and why do we have to change it? Okay, mamaya explain natin yan. So paano ba natin change yung flux? Of course, from this formula, ano yung mga pwede nating i-change para mabago yung magnetic field? We can change first yung ating strength ng magnetic field. Okay? Second, we can increase or decrease the area. Or third one, we can increase or decrease the angle or change the angle para mabago yung magnetic flux. Okay? So first, we could move the magnet away or towards. So pag minumove natin yung magnet away or towards the wire, ano yung nagiging effect nun? Tandaan natin, sa isang magnet, there are areas na malakas ang magnetic field, P. Merong area na mahina. So if we move the magnet away or towards a wire, ang ginagawa natin, pinapalakas natin or pinapahina yung magnetic field natin. So pag ginawa natin yun, mababago natin yung flux. Okay, second, we could increase or decrease the area. Ito naman yung binabago, yung A. So sa isang wire, paano natin gagawin yon? How do we increase or decrease the area ng isang wire? Samantalang fix yung area nun. So pwede natin gawin is gumamit tayo ng loop of wire. Instead na straight wire, pwede natin siyang i-loop para mas malaki yung area or yung length ng wire na exposed dun sa magnetic field. Okay? Now the third one is we could rotate the wire along an axis that is perpendicular to the field, thus changing the angle between the area and magnetic field vectors. Ito naman yung binabago natin this time, yung angle. So if we change the angle, maaari nating mabago yung magnetic flux. Okay, so those are the three ways on how to change magnetic flux. Now, bakit nga ba natin pinag-uusapan yung changing ng magnetic flux? That is because it is the one causing yung electromagnetic induction. Okay, and yan yung sinasabi dun sa ating Faraday's law. So Faraday learned that if you change any part of the flux over time, you could induce a current in a conductor and thus create a source of EMF or voltage. Okay, so yung pagbabago ng flux natin over time can induce current in a conductor. In short, maaari siyang mag-cause ng movement ng charge, maaari mag-cause ng electricity. Okay, changing the magnetic flux. So by formula, yung ating EMF or yung ating voltage can be computed by multiplying the number of turns ng wire times the change in magnetic flux. Okay, so again, mayroon tayong iba't ibang ways on how to change that over time. Yeah. Now, ano-ano yung mga practical applications nitong electromagnetic induction na to using Faraday's law? First one is yung tinatawag nating forever flashlight. Okay, so it uses Faraday principle of electromagnetic energy to eliminate the need for batteries. Okay, so ano bang meron sa forever flashlight na to? So kung i-zoom natin, makikita nyo may loop of wire dito. Okay, now anong gagawin ng loop of wire na yan? It is going to move back and forth dito sa tube na to. Mayroong magnet dito, mayroong magnet dyan. So by moving it back and forth, nakaka-experience siya ng increase and decrease in magnetic field. At dahil nagbabago yung magnetic field, nagbabago yung yung magnetic flux, creating yung pag-move ng charges or electricity. That's why tinawag siyang forever flashlight, because it does not need battery para umilaw. Okay? Okay, ito naman yung example nung pangatlo kanina. Ito. So we could rotate the wire along an axis, sabi dyan. So, ayan. So if you look at this, yung ating wire ay umiikot-ikot. Okay, mayroong field line between north and south. So yung mga field lines natin ay pababa, magmula north, pababa. So pag naka 90 degrees siya, nakaganyan lang siya, maximum. Pag umikot, nagkakaroon ng angle, bumababa. Okay, so pag ikot-ikot niya dyan, tumataas, bumababa dahil nga sa angle. Kaya nag-i-induce siya ng current. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo dito, yung movement ng charges natin, yung kulay dilaw, mapapansin nyo, pabalik-balik lang sila. Okay, so yun yung tinatawag nating alternating current. Okay, bakit alternating current? Yung direction nila ay nag-alternate. Okay, so ito yung nangyayari sa ating mga generator. Okay, so sila yung nag-generate ng kuryente natin. Sa household natin, AC din ang ginagamit kasi mas madali silang i-transmit, or yung energy niya ay madaling i-transmit sa malalayong lugar, unlike DC na madaling maubos yung energy kapag malayong lugar na ang ita-travel niya. Okay? And so that is a generator. Next, transformers naman. Okay, so dito naman sa transformers, meron tayong tinatawag na step up and step down transformer. So electromagnetic induction pa rin ito. Kasi kung titignan ninyo, example natin yung step up from 110 or 120, nagiging 220 to 240 volts ang output sa secondary coil. Kung mapapansin nyo, paano nangyayari yon? So sa primary coil natin, kung saan pumapasok yung maliit na voltahe, okay, kung mapapansin nyo, napakakonte ng ating coils or yung ikot ng wire. Okay, pagdating dito sa secondary coil, marami na. Okay, mas maraming coils of wire. So ano nangyayari dyan? Mas malaki yung surface area kasi nito. So, tandaan natin, when we increase surface area, nagbabago yung magnetic flux, tumataas yung magnetic flux, which causes yung pagtaas din ng voltage. Okay, unlike dito sa ating step down from 220 to 240, nagiging 110 to 120, baliktad naman dito. Sa primary, mas maraming coils, dito naman ay mas konti ang coil. So mas reduced yung surface area ng wire na exposed sa magnetic field. That's why bumababa din yung kanyang voltahe. Okay? Ayan. So ginagamit natin yung step up, okay, sa mga power lines natin. Magmula sa power plant, kailangan ng step up transformer para may transport sa malalayong lugar yung kuryente. Kasi pag walang step up, humihina yung voltahe pag lumalayo na. Kaya kailangan ng step up transformer. Dito naman step down, ginagamit naman to sa mga kabahayan or sa mga barangay. For example, napakalakas ng voltahe galing sa substation, like for example sa Decorp, napakalakas ng voltahe dyan. So pagdating dun sa barangay, kailangan pababain yung voltahe para hindi sumabog yung mga appliances natin. Okay, so that is transformer naman. Next, microphones. So yung microphone natin, ayan, gumagamit din siya ng electromagnetic induction. So paano nangyayari yon? So yung sound wave ay nagta-travel sa air. Okay, so pagtatama siya dito sa diaphragm na tinatawag natin, yung diaphragm na yan magbabibrate back and forth. Okay, nakadikit dyan sa diaphragm na yan is coil of wire. Ngayon, may magnet dyan kung saan dito sa gitna, doon, hindi naman siya nakapulupot dun sa mismong magnet, pero it is free to move. So paikot-ikot dyan yung coil of wire natin. So pag nag back and forth itong diaphragm, kasamang magba-back and forth itong coil of wire, so gaganyan-ganyan din siya. Dahil gumagalaw siya doon sa magnet natin, nagkukos yan ng change in magnetic flux. At dahil nagkakaroon ng change in magnetic flux, nagkukos yan ng pag-move ng charges. At yun yung base sa paggalaw nito at base sa frequency ng sound na yan, magkre-create niya ng electrical signal. Okay, napupunta ngayon sa speaker. Okay, yung speaker naman is baliktad lang na microphone ang speaker. Ang speaker parang ganito din ang setup niya. May magnet din siya, may coil of wire din, mayroon din siyang diaphragm, pero baliktad. Kung dito sa microphone, yung sound waves ay tumatama dito at siya magkukos ng pag-move niyan at pagkakaroon ng electrical signal na nagko-convert ng sound into electrical signal. Itong sa speaker naman, yung electrical signal kino-convert niya naman into sound. So pag pumasok dito yung electrical signal, dahil nga may kuryente dyan, ang mangyayari, gagalaw yung diaphragm ngayon. Okay, pag gumalaw yung diaphragm, nag-vibrate siya, mag-create siya ng sound. Yun yung man yung naririnig natin na nanggagaling sa speaker. Yun nga lang, syempre sa speaker mas malakas na-amplify yung sound. Okay, so that is, or those are applications ng electromagnetic induction. And yun din explanation natin what electromagnetic induction is. Okay.